Good morning and welcome everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring in this morning update. We'll do about 10 minutes here, and then I've got to leave a little earlier than normal when I'm at home to get my son to school by 8:30. But we still have plenty of time here to do at least 10 minutes, go over the overall workings here, because Bitcoin is up 3.8%. We thought yesterday that the market could start turning up here. That was my prediction yesterday as far as what I thought. Not like a prediction of, oh, you need to buy here, sell there, but a prediction of what I felt internally just by looking at the charts and seeing the dynamic leading into the 7th of March, that we should start to reverse yesterday, and nothing major's happened. We've got about 1.3% on XRP, 3.8% on Bitcoin. Ethereum's at 2.2%, but Trump has bought, I think he's got about $500 million worth of Ethereum or something close to, it's something ridiculous. So I think Ethereum, yes, it's undervalued right now in a sense with what's going on, and it filled that technical drop, which is still getting me that this could be the reversal finally for Ethereum. So we'll continue to watch that. Algo's up about 4.6%, one of the higher performers here this morning. Gold is pretty flat, but it recovered all losses from when Trump first started speaking. HBAR's up about 5.6%. VeChain's up 6.6%, which is great. I feel like ZIL is still getting ready for some kind of move here, and eventually here, I know in the weekly time frame, the best way to show it, and then we're going to focus on XRP. I'm just trying to go around the world real quick before I do the intro. The weekly is starting to show us this nice little W. Monthly started to reverse here a little bit, so we'll focus more on that on the live tonight around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for now, let's focus on XRP, and we'll take a quick look at Bitcoin. So good morning. 7:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan, and I still have not cut my hair. So, I mean, it's in the little pony right now, but it is getting rather long, as you can see. I haven't cut it since July of 2023, and I proclaimed that I wouldn't cut it. Well, first I said $1, and then I said, no. We're going to do, I've been debating it, and it might just have to stay uncut until XRP makes us all future millionaires, right? And we've made some, and we're not at 0, but we're certainly not at 1 million, so XRP, I've often said I would sacrifice until maybe it's the $10 mark. But I don't know. I don't see me cutting it until we hit our goals. So I'm going to be like, it's going to get pretty long. I can tell you that. And it's already long. So, but anyhow, that's neither near nor there. If you know, you know. If you're new, you don't know anything about this. But same thing with the goatee. We're just kind of letting it go until we get to the promised land. So right now, XRP, the next resistance is at $2.61. It's that little falling channel. This is that inverse head and shoulders that we drew out before this inverse right shoulder started to form. If that's in fact what it is, this lower support is a neckline, so just pay attention to that on that downward channel. The big thing I like to watch here as well on this chart is right here. We've got to break over $2.48, and we talked about how possibly we could build some kind of inversion here to break out, and we built inversion, but now we're going to have to pop up maybe even to 262, back test 248, and then bounce out, or maybe even we just go to 242, but in real time it's 247.73 we got to get over. We've got a broadening wedge, which is what XRP's in the totality of this consolidation after the break up, and then we formed a symmetrical triangle, which we're trying to get out of the symmetrical triangle first. You got to get over and hold about $2.47 to validate a breakout and hold out of the symmetrical triangle. Then the next move up would be to the top of the shorter target, which is this channel, which is up at about, let's do it in real time, $2.59 approximately. You'd have to break and hold, and then you would start pushing up by level. After $2.59, you would end up getting up to that $2.98, roughly area 292. I mean, there's a little bit of short resistance. But then you've got major resistance over the top at 342, which was a target out of the first breakout. And then over the top even higher. If we could get hot here, you could go to 342. However, we're ultra volatile, and we still have a lot to be determined here. It's about to be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in about an hour. 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Traditionally, if we're coming in hot to start the morning, we'll consolidate a little bit. Golden Cross reformed here in the 2-hourly, so it is very possible to see a quick pull down to 243 on XRP just to validate that this is for real. But yeah, that's something we'll watch as this morning develops. And then as far as the XRP Bitcoin pairing goes, I actually don't mind the consolidation that it's doing, because in the weekly time frame we had such a volatile swing back down to that weekly golden cross that we tapped perfectly. Here, let me delete this. That we came down and tapped, broke out of this descending wedge, and now the back test here, down here, we came down perfectly. Now we're just trying to ride the 20-day, and in the daily we're trying to hold that 2697, but in the 4-hourly we came back through the 20-day, which means we're probably going to try to get validity on the 200-day, which is possible again. And then if it were to break through, you got to go into the 2-hour time frame to see. And right now, the 2-hour, we're going to see if we hold on here. So it is possible that because of the volatility on XRP to the upside, Bitcoin just might fill itself out. This is when we were right here at 2.5. We talked about the initial push up to 2.8. It did overshoot it, but now it's back into that region. So now we're going to have to hold it for the XRP Bitcoin pairing. But it really does look like, just like with the XRP pattern, the XRP Bitcoin pairing shows this big inverse head and shoulders formed. So, and now we're just back testing this back neckline, and we could come down farther, but as long as we hold that integrity, we're going to start something here towards the end of the week. I think we're building towards March 7th possibly, but nobody really does know for sure. XLM's up 2.87%. It's trying to get past this massive resistance. This is the first layer of 2 of massive resistance, and it's right, we're literally right on it. Like, we are right on it. And if we could get over it, we could push past this massive resistance, and it would actually be a thing of beauty if we could. First layer would be to get over 30.8 cents. Let's clone this. And the next one to get over would be approximately 38.6. That's that down channel, just like XRP technically had. But if you break it down into a bigger sense, this is almost like a descending wedge. I don't even want to say almost like, because depending on, whoops, let's get rid of some of this noise. Depending on where you look at this, you could absolutely say that there's some kind of wedge here like this, some kind of descending wedge. So we'll see how this plays out. But like I said, for XLM, 30.8 cents and then up to 38.6 if we can play bullish. So we got to see how the morning plays out. And Bitcoin's up over 90,000, which is nice to see. But now we need to hold 90,000. That's a big pivot layer. But better yet, we can say forget the 90,000 if I'm being honest, because we formed this resistance over the top. And that's going to be a huge layer of content here. This is a huge layer of concern. And right now we're technically over it. That is very interesting. That is very interesting that we're over this. But we would have to hold it and validate this. So let me put this price label on just for later so we don't forget what we're dealing with. Put it somewhere around here. So 89,217 is going to be that end all be all. If Bitcoin holds, we're going to start working our way back up towards that 107. And ultimately the cycle target, if it can break up out of here, could still be hit at 122. But that doesn't mean it ends there. It's just you have to identify how the pattern sets up when you get there. Just like with XRP. Doesn't mean the pattern has to end at 549 or 679. But you have to see how it reacts if we get that high. And then you see what kind of setup you have at these higher targets. So I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this morning update. I know it's a little bizarre because I'm not at my house, but I'm still trying to be very transparent. If you haven't joined, make sure to join the 31,100 subscribers. If you're trying to get extra XRP, I'm just going to say this. If you're trying to get XRP and you're a high volume trader and you're on BITUNIX or you're not there yet, look in my video description below of this video or pinned comments or on my homepage for the BITUNIX link. And right now, if you deposit $500, they'll give you $50 right on the spot. You deposit $1,000, you get $100. And all you have to do is trade on futures once and you get $100. Or if you're a high volume trader and you're trading on futures, let's say you make big trades. If you do let's say a $10,000 trade and you do a 10x trade, that's 1 million. You'll get 20 free XRP. If you're a very high volume trader, and let's say you do $100,000 leverage trades, because I know some people do, and you times that by 10, that's $10 million. If you do it for a total of 50 million, they'll give you 800 free XRP. And I know it's true. There was some in my audience that actually achieved that the last time they offered this and sent me a message and said, Tom, I didn't know if it was true or not, but they actually sent me that 800 XRP. So we do have high volume traders. So if you are a high volume and you're a leverage trader especially, take advantage of these moments. I don't push leverage, but when they have these opportunities, I try to set it up in a creative way to show you. See, it says XRP Future Millionaire, so you have to click on my link to get this exact one. So make sure you pay attention to that. And before I leave, DGB's up 4.25%. It's silently building a breakout momentum. So now all we have to do is hold this area, which we did before at 7.8. Now our next area of content is to get over 9.3 cents because that is the technical move. Actually, it's a little bit lower because we came down a little bit farther and tapped it again. Oh, it's about the same. So the technical move's 929. So that's what we're looking for here. So we'll look more into DGB later. I got to go. I'm going to release this. Have a blessed morning, everyone.